right, good afternoon here. We have a special treat here on the Set Pieces podcast from ASMG. We have Doug Walk. And Doug, I'm going to call you the director of football for FC Birmingham. You,
That's
you have
fair.
so many tasks and jobs that you do with the club. I'm just going to put that umbrella over it, and you run everything basically of FC Birmingham. Welcome aboard, and how you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Actually, I ran in here for this interview. I'm out putting seed on the fields right now.
Oh man, I wanted to get into that because that's one of the questions I had about the venue that you're playing in. And there's been a lot of changes that are going on there with the club there. So, but first of all, I wanted to ask you, getting into this season, this
Yep.
fall 2024 season in the UPSL Premier in Georgia, how has it been going so far for you, for the club in general? Is it what you expected? Disappointment, maybe you're accomplishing more than you thought. I mean, what's kind of the shakeup that you see for yourself?
It's definitely not going to plan. It's been one distraction after another distraction. The I knew we had a really talented team going into it, and for them to hold on as well as they have is it just shows how talented they are. But from venue issues to coaching change to venue field conditions, everything it just seemed to be one challenge after another. But I
Oh,
guess if you do it long enough, you're gonna run into the issues.
yeah, and it's funny, and you said it well too. I mean, you've had a lot of distractions and challenges come up for the club, but your club is still poised to make the playoffs. If you can stabilize things and turn things around. But let's get into a little bit of some of the challenges you've had. I know that the big one really has been the coaching change. We had Coach Grigul, who had started out this season. I think there was a mutual agreement that he was going to step down, and maybe you can go into a little bit of that and what the result of that has been for the rest of the season in a coaching capacity.
Yeah, Coach Gabriel, he's been with us pretty much since the first season when we started. He didn't start out as a coach, but he worked his way into the coaching role, and he's been one of the loyal people that's been here, that's seen the ups, the downs, everything. Um, he ran into, life, as they say, life started lifing on him, right? So he ran into some personal challenges he had to deal with, which I
Mhm.
mean, anyone that's in this league knows, especially in the Premier Division, the Georgia Division is arguably one of the most competitive divisions in the league. And so, even when you're given 100% attention, doesn't guarantee success in this league because you have so many great teams. So, with personal issues from his standpoint, he couldn't give his full attention to the details that was needed. With games we were playing, we wasn't as polished as we should have been. And so it was, we had conversations leading up to it, and we both talked about it. We both agreed let's do what's best for the players, and um, it was a big shift. The easy thing for us to do at the time was to because there was a few times he had to miss practice for various reasons, and the captain stepped up, and the players really responded to the captain. That's Josh Martinez, and he had a respect from the players. So we were able to go down that road. And when Gabriel stepped down, we just kind of passed it over to Josh.
Well, how has that transition, affected the club? I know that you said that, the players themselves were agreeable to Josh taking over the
Mhm.
the helm, I guess in an interim role. But do you feel like this is going to be enough for you to really kind of right the ship and head on into the playoffs, or do you think more might be needed before the end of the season?
Well, I hate to jinx it, but no, but the players, I'm seeing the excitement again. Usually, I coach U23s as well, and usually when we scrimmage them, it's usually pretty close. But after Josh took over, the excitement is there, the enthusiasm is there, and I think we play 60-minute halves when we when we scrimmage because usually it's pretty competitive. but we couldn't hold a stick to those guys, man. They were all on the same page. They were playing differently. I think they were playing the way that they was taught to play growing up. On the
Hmm.
ground through the midfield. Uh, Not as much long balls, not as much looking at the 50-50 ball. So now these guys kind of, and Josh, I mean, he played at a high level. He played for the Puerto Rican national team, the beach soccer.
Hmm.
He's been around, he's played high level. So he's seen soccer at some of the higher levels. And so, he's kind of adapting his philosophy around the players.
Yeah, and so I guess that really can steady things. I think there was a lot of chaos, like, again, like you said, some personal distractions for Coach Gabriel rather. But now that's sort of maybe getting things smoothed out. But then again, another distraction, which is the field situation. If you can kind of go into that, most people will remember Lawson being the place where you played in Birmingham,
Mhm.
but now that has changed. Kind of, can you go into some details of why the change from Lawson to this new venue, and what the challenges were and continue to be
Yeah.
at this new place?
So, I mean, we were literally at training when we went up to turn the lights on and the lights wouldn't turn on. And we thought maybe there was an electrical issue. So, we pretty much ended practice for that evening, thinking it was something with electrical. I called the facility manager. He said, yeah, we'll send somebody out to check it out. So we didn't think much of it. We just figured, something happened, maybe a breaker tripped or something like that. And then it went on and on. And I met with the facility manager one Saturday morning. We were going to clean up to get ready for the season. I think we may have been 2 weeks out from the season start. So we were going in cleaning the restrooms. So I'm a janitor too. And
Like I said, jack of all trades, man.
yeah, so he realized that the power meter was gone. So the electricity, and we saw a red tag. So the electricity had been disconnected from the stadium.
Oh,
Yeah,
so okay, it's even more than I thought. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So so no power whatsoever even connected to Lawson, which
None.
makes it impossible to play there, really,
Right,
and
right.
stage a professional type environment there. No lights, no electrical. So, what's that prompted now? So tell us about your new venue right now.
Yeah, so towards the beginning, like maybe early August, we received a phone call asking us would we be interested in taking over the lease at the Pleasant Grove Stadium, which of course we wanted to jump all over that. But we knew the field wasn't ready. The plan was to go ahead and take over the lease, start maintenance, start working on it, getting it ready for the spring. You and I had conversations about it. I sent you
Yeah.
pictures and stuff like that. So that was kind of the plan. And then we get a phone call from the school district about Lawson, said, "Hey, um, get all your stuff out. The facility is not going to be used by anybody
Wow.
because of the not having electricity." So we was like, "Oh, okay." So
That's quite sudden and
yeah,
unexpected.
yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: we're like a week and a half out before kickoff,
Yeah, I remember the
and
call you gave me about that. We had
yeah,
to scramble because we had referees assigned and all kinds of stuff ready to go. And I'm sure you had concessions and all
yep,
kinds of people hired for Lawson. And then all of
yep,
this happens at the last minute. So I mean, that's you know, on top of all the preparation, you're also trying to compete. You're trying to get
right.
ready for your games against your opponents too, which is a tall order in the Georgia Premier. So this was probably a very unwelcome, circumstance that popped up for you.
Right. I mean, and especially because we was opening up the season versus Kalonji. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I'm like, Andre really hates me.
Yeah, just roll the dice, man. Everybody gets a chance.
Yeah, so trying to prep for that. Um, the news came down on Gabriel in the middle of all of this. It just kind of like it just started compounding. And then we get there. So we was like, okay, we can make the field serviceable, enough to play. Wouldn't be perfect, but it'll be okay, right? And then we had a infestation of grubs in the field. So we had no idea. So what grubs does, grubs actually they're on the root level of your grass. So they were eating up all of the roots under the field.
And see, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because we noticed that I think it was our first home game. We was like, man, it's pretty dusty out here. What's going, it was kind of it wasn't as bad as it is now, but we was like, man, it's like it's more dirt than anything. We didn't know that was going on until um
Mhm.
cue up the next distraction. The, that's when we had the first water line to burst under the field. And as
Yeah.
we were as we were cutting that out, digging in for that, so I do landscaping too and plumbing, and so
And running the club,
that's I
et
know,
cetera,
I
et cetera.
know. So as we were digging that up, that's when we saw we dug up a little piece, and that's when we saw all the grub under the field. We was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
So, we had to, and we didn't. And the thing is, we didn't. The sprinkler system wasn't working. So even we put out pesticides, we couldn't water it in. It hasn't rained here outside of the hurricane. We got a little sprinkling of water. Most of it went through Georgia, and other than that, it hasn't rained at all. Still hasn't rained here.
Wow. Well,
So yeah,
that makes me ask though, Doug. I mean, you've had all of this happen. Some of it's behind you now. You got a little bit of stability with the coaching. Players are there seem to be more enthusiastic. So what's the plan now going forward for the rest of the season? You still have a very good shot at getting into a and keeping a playoff spot. But how do you feel about the prospects of actually improving upon the results that have been more recent, which have, like you said, not been what you have really wanted? But
yeah.
do you think you can just improve from this point forward, despite all of these things that are going on?
I think we can, to be honest. It's the players. We do the best job we can to try to shield the players from all the stuff that's going on. So for those who go and watch this, some of this stuff they didn't even know happened. So
Yeah,
we tried to shield them from there. We were able to work with the Birmingham City school system to where we were able to secure somewhere for them to train. Unfortunately, we couldn't play the games there because youth football is king in the South,
yeah,
as we
yeah.
all
It
know.
is. Yeah,
Yeah, so there was nothing available. Um, the field now, the stadium, Pleasant Grove Stadium now is still in bad shape, but we have been in talks with Pleasant Grove High School. So we're in talks to them now. Matter of fact, I'm eagerly awaiting an email approving us to be able to finish the season there. If we can, that'll be great. That'll take a huge amount of pressure off of us from the administrative side because then we don't have to focus so much on the field conditions. And I mean, we're literally out there with hose pipes trying to water the field, and it's
yeah.
so dry. After about 20 minutes, it's dry again, and it's right back to where it was.
Yeah, you'll
So
need a water truck or something to
yeah,
back them and just dump all that water just to soak it up. It's like a sponge, I'm sure,
I know.
that's out
I,
there. But that's part of the challenge of running a club. I mean, this is good information for all those out there that either currently run a club or thinking about running it. It's more than just practice and coming and playing a game. There's a lot
yeah,
of things that go on behind the scenes that present challenges to the competition for you. And it's affected results. I can tell that because you would have been one of the favorites to challenge for the division at the beginning of the season. You still can make the playoffs, and as we know, we've learned in the past, we've had a team like Atlanta City, sort of a mid-table team that came in and ran through the playoffs and actually won it and went on to the Nationals. So the door is still wide open for the possibilities of getting something real positive. And then you have next spring to look forward to. You got a good academy system there. You got a second team that's in the Division 1, and there's also the women's division that we're going to also feature in the UPSL for the first time next year. Hopefully, we'll have FC Birmingham as a part of that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. This is why we have these interviews so that the fans can know it's not just showing up and playing. There's a lot of challenges that affect how these guys play. And just we need the support from the fans and supporters out there, not only just coming to the game, but buying merchandise that helps to fund a lot of the things that are going on there. And so, that's the kind of thing. And I'm glad you were here and took some time out to talk to us now. But anything else you want
Absolutely.
to add, as far as what FC Birmingham is trying to do, not just in the season, but even like with the local community and things like that? Anything you want to add with sponsors?
Yeah, no, I mean we're very thankful to the sponsors that we have. We have some sponsors specific to the women's side and some sponsors specific to the men's side, but we're still very grateful for all of them. We look to continue to build that. Having this Pleasant Grove facility, yes, we started out. I mean, it's been a rocky beginning to it, but ultimately the upside of it is huge. That's why we stay positive. I'm able to smile about it, and you know, I guess what Kevin Hart say, you laugh at my pain, but
You're
but
gonna
no,
laugh or you're gonna cry.
I know you gotta laugh to keep from crying. No, but seriously, it's moving forward. I mean, we have huge plans here at the Pleasant Grove facility to where we'll be able to host not only just UPSL games, but we also want to. We have international partners that we talk to, and so we're trying to get them over to do combines and IDs and things of that nature to bring more eyeballs. Because I mean, we firmly believe that outside of like the second division teams, or maybe even the third division teams. I mean, this is one of the highest levels, and it's an extremely high level in this division. So we definitely want to get eyeballs not only on our players but all the players.
Great, great. And so you got a game coming up this weekend against Albion, I believe.
Yep.
It's away for you. Probably a good relief to get away for a minute and
Yeah.
let the home field heal up a little bit. But yeah, so if the fans out there, if you have potential fans out there that wants to follow you, social media or the website, where can they do that? You're on Facebook or Instagram?
Yep.
Where are you? Where can you be found?
Yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram at FC Birmingham, FC at FC Beham for Facebook and Instagram.
Mhm.
We just recently fired our social media director. That was me. And
Got a harsh boss, man.
yeah, fired myself. No, yeah, we're looking to bring more content and things of that nature. We want to follow the players, help everyone get to know the players better, other than just posting results and when they come to games. We want everyone to understand. Because I mean, I have my challenges. Everyone have their challenges, but these players are human too. I mean, you got a lot of these players coming. We have a few players that's driving an hour and a half, 2 hours, to come train 3 nights a week, and then
It's
they show up
amazing.
and they travel and they go play games. And you got guys coming out of the office, guys coming off the roof. I mean, we all know how that goes, but I think the fans need to understand that these guys are everyday guys, just like everybody else, but they happen to be really good at the sport and they want to take it to another level, or they want to keep their level. So it's something to be celebrated and something to be supported.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and that's the thing that I want the fans out there to hear, because to support them, basically show up at the games.
Yep.
Buy the concessions, buy the merchandise, follow, watch, view them on the live streams, and
Yep.
ASMG is going to be partnering with you to some degree going
Yep.
forward, so we'll be able to spread a little bit more there. Plus, I run a website, UPSLGeorgia.com, where we'll feature a lot of content there, match galleries, video highlights, and things of that nature. And so there's a lot of ways to support that's easy for the fans to do, and it really is just really getting there, commenting on the website and on the YouTube videos, things like that will go a long way to help the club and support them and help them be more successful. So want to thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I want to thank you for taking the time out. I know you're in the middle of a busy day, so much going on. We have a lot to talk about later as well.
Yep.
So, but thanks a lot for the time for the fans here, and we look forward to talking to you again before the end of the season. Hopefully, it'll be a playoff discussion
Oh
in the
yeah,
later
and
parts of the season.
we look forward to that. And Andre, I do want to say this. I mean, we are excited in the midst of everything that's going on. UPSL chose us as one of the limited clubs to feature in the fan shop.
Oh,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes, and
yeah.
I'll put a link to that in the description below. Yeah, I've seen that. That was announced today, and that's a great way to support FC Birmingham. A lot of the proceeds will go to the club, and you'll be
Hmm.
able to sport the colors and the crests
Yeah.
of your favorite team. So, yeah, thanks for reminding me about that. I'll put that in the description.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, Andre. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. We'll see you on the weekend.
All right. See